Before I start this show, I want to say Merry Christmas to all the listeners and everybody that's part of my In-Game Boss program network. And so before we start the show, the two questions I have to ask you that's very important to me is, what was Christmas like for you? And were there something that you always wanted for Christmas but never got? Let's start this Christmas episode. And welcome to a great episode of the In-Game Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Evans. And with me, I have two great mini bosses. These are two mini bosses that I've been dying to get on this show since I met them way earlier. They actually work at a job I work at. And, you know, it's funny because, like, when I met the first person, we were, I guess you would say for you, you know, without mentioning your name, I'm not going to mention your name yet because I gotta hype you up. But you know, when I first met you, you were very kind of to yourself when I first met you. You weren't very talkative yet. And I think you're a very chill person. And then, you know, worlds connect when I realized that you were part of a band that I knew one of the members named Riley. And I was like, this is all coming together because I remember going to one of the performance. And I don't know if you were there at the time, but I don't know, like, I guess I don't know how long you were not part of the band yet, but I thought maybe if you were there, then I could have saw you at one point and just never put two and two together. Like, oh, who knew I was going to meet him in the future? You know what I mean? But our first mini boss that I want to introduce is Mr. Josh. How you doing? And how do you say your last name? Because I'm not going to lie, I forgot it.
It is Bruner.
Bruner. There you go. Josh Bruner.
I think Das Bruner. Yeah.
How you doing, man?
I am doing well. It's a pleasure, Jeremy.
Yeah, so when I first met you, like I said, like, I think it took a minute for us to start talking. I think, of course, you know, when we find out, like, oh, we played this game together, you know, that's where it all comes in. Like, oh, you like games? I like games. It's kind of like exactly those, like, kids that, like, at a park, like, oh, you like baseball? I like baseball, too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we just hit it off really easily when it comes to gaming and stuff. And I knew, like, you're a gamer. You should come on the show and talk about games with me. That'd be great.
That's very true. And really, you nailed it on the head because I'm totally that way. But as soon as I find something that I can connect with, it kind of opens the door.
Right, exactly. And then our other second mini boss, such a lovely. When I first met her, I didn't know that you two were actually, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend. Did not know that because, like, I guess, like, I don't know if you guys kept it professional for me, or maybe I just didn't catch all together. It's definitely one or the other because, like, you guys don't really, like, I guess during your time frames, I mean, even during breakfast time, I never seen you guys just sit down and eat together. I never seen that. And you guys rarely, and I guess, like, you know, you guys rarely, like, I rarely see y'all, like, at work come together, talk for a minute and go back. I rarely see that. But then again, I'm only working part-time, so I don't know what goes on every day when the times you guys work, but I just don't really see y'all, like, couple. You know what I mean? Like, the most couple I seen was, like, when you guys invited me to your home, and I was like, oh, so this is true. All right. That's cool. But this is Miss Savannah. How you doing?
Good, Jeremy. So Josh and I have been together for it's been 4 years.
I would see that's even more shocking for me.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, sometimes we do get away with, like, little things, like little kisses and hugs and stuff.
Sneaky.
Right.
We're very sneaky.
Right, and that
makes it more exciting.
Yeah, you fool me. You guys are not one of those people like, hey, meet me in the cooler in 5 minutes, kind of.
I know he suggested that once. Yeah.
Right. But are you having a good day, Savannah?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I didn't know if you were skeptical at first when I asked you, like, you should come on the show. Like, yeah, roll your eyes.
Like, I've never done one of these before.
You never been on the podcast before?
Mm-hmm.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm glad you took a chance to come on the show and talk about video games. I knew it had to be something that would be kind of, like, comfortable for you. And I was like, gaming should be comfortable for her, especially I found out that you're a big Fallout fan.
Yeah, so I haven't played 76 yet, but I'm excited when I finally can play. And then, of course, that Fallout Miami that dropped.
Right?
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
So what is your favorite Fallout, if you had to choose one? Or which one did you enjoy the most?
I enjoy all of them. I mean, I think I like Fallout 4 a lot just because the game design is a lot newer. It looks a lot nicer. But I mean, it's just something that, you know, comes with time. But I love like New Vegas and Fallout 3 just the same. Never really played 1 or 2, but those are a little bit different.
Yeah, they're like they're like overhead. They're like overhead. Yeah.
So haven't done that, but I mean I know that the stories from even those tie in together with 3 and 4. So it's interesting. I like it. And then, of course, I like Skyrim and stuff, too. So.
You know, I always get that debate with people, and, you know, you always get those two separate teams, like I'm Team Elder Scrolls, Team Fallout, and they're both good games in their own right, but I guess I was always been the Fallout person because I always liked the whole, like, survival of a new world and, like, a structure, like, you know, is what happens if we lost the Cold War. Like, this is the world it would be. So it's, like, still 1960 stuck in the present. You know what I mean? And I just like that structure of people hiding out in vaults and coming out into this new world. It's like fish out of water, and now you have to survive this hell that is created. Yeah. And, you know, you're meeting all these abnormal... At one point, that game could be a scary horror game, depending where you go. Like, you go down in the sewer, you find those Mirelurks, and it's like, what the hell are those things slowly creeping, walking up to me? Or a super mutant, you know? These are things that freak out. Or even, like... what scared me the most is when you go into a room and you get that little timer that's the loading, because you just don't know who's going to come around the corner the moment you walked in. Like, every building you go to is a scary situation because, like, am I going to be safe? Is there a raider that's going to come at me with a knife or something like that? No one's friendly to you. It's like you against the world. And so that's why I kind of like that. And but Elder Scrolls has its own thing, but I think Elder Scrolls, they focus more on class and what you ideally want to be as this hero. And in Fallout, it's more of like, I'm just me, solely me, surviving. Like, I'm not this class. You know, I'm just this guy that's trying to survive. I mean, a survivor, I'm thankful for that. And then finding out, I like the history of Fallout 2. I like learning the history of, like, oh, there's other vaults. I get to go to these other vaults and visit them and, like, wow, theirs is nice compared to the one I came out of. Or, wow, this place is overrun with plants. You know, it's just, it's an interesting thing. Now, what about y'all? Are you guys more of Fallout or you guys are more of Elder Scroll?
I do both.
Okay.
I haven't done either of them.
Oh, you have none. Okay.
Yeah. So
for me, I'm very attentive to, like, the action and the fighting and when I play games, and I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't my pace.
Okay.
Like, I didn't really get into the whole VAT system.
And right.
I just felt a little slow. And I don't know. Like, I like watching her play. Like, for the story and just what's going on, you know.
But you're more the action man.
Yeah, I like to be doing combos. I like to be, you know, doing those kind of stuff and controlling them a lot more than, I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't fully gotten into the game, but from whatever I saw, it just felt like
now.
Like that.
Would you consider, like, maybe Zelda or Witcher be more up your alley because that's a little bit more action, even though it's a venture still? But if that's a little bit more active compared to Elder Scrolls and Fallout, is that more up your alley? Okay.
Though Witcher, I tried to get into The Witcher, and I don't know if I just didn't get far enough into it.
A little louder.
I don't know if I got far enough into it, but just the combat seemed a little too simple.
Simple? Okay.
It was just like slash, 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 dodge.
Okay, so you like like people to challenge you back. So, like, you probably like Devil May Cry or, like, Bayonetta or...
See, these are also games I haven't played yet.
You got to play those, man. If you like those kind of games that, like, they fight you back, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like Neo,
but
like the game we've been playing.
Have more options for me to do than just a little spinning slash with a sword. You know, I want different combos that I can do.
Did you like Darksiders? Have you ever touched Darksiders before?
We have those, but I haven't started in on them yet.
Okay.
But
you have to let me know.
That kind of reminds me of, like, the God of War series, which I did really like.
Okay, you did like God of War?
So,
okay.
Yeah. We like those, like Arkham, the Arkham games,
okay,
and Shadow of Mordor.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to playing the next one.
Okay. Awesome. I'm a big fan of those action games. I'm actually like a little bit of everything, except I can't get into strategy games for some reason, and point and click games. You know what I mean? Like, point and click games are fun, but, like, it's a lot of reading, and I can get bored very easily with reading for a very long time, and then those puzzles of just clicking, I don't know. I guess that's because I grew up with a controller. It's hard for me to just consider a mouse in my hand like, this is it. This is all I got. Okay, this is what? You know what I mean? And so, but when it comes to strategy games, I guess I'm not really good at like strategizing something like that, because if my strategy doesn't work out, then I get very frustrated. Like, great, I spent 5 hours trying to get this whole group together to be ready to attack this person, and I lose. And like, that's a lot of time consuming, you know what I mean? At least an RPG, if I die, it's because I suck a load. But when I'm a leader of a group and I just end up just throwing all my men's lives away for a bad decision, it's like, this ain't my thing. This isn't my thing. Is there a genre that like guys, you know, just doesn't fit y'all? Anything that just comes to your head?
I haven't really ever gotten into sports games.
Sports games are
Same.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, and it's not disrespect to sports games. It's like I play them all kind of feel, you know. And then buying them every year feels like a bit of a ripoff for me, for myself. I mean, you got yearly and stuff got to update, but I wish, you know, hey, how about we get a patch that can just update everything? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't do sports games.
There is some. Speaking of that, though, I was recently watching someone play NBA 2K19.
Okay.
And I was actually impressed because of the open world training system that they got set up there, and the online PvP thing. It's like a street court that you can go and like stand on these little circles, and other people who have created their own characters, and you're all in there with your own characters. And you come and have 3-on-3, play 21, you know, practice, go over to the Gatorade training center and do these little mini games where you level up your character, you have your own career going. Like,
so like they have their own grind fest. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I also heard that if you get your character to like some odd level, you get a free copy of the next 2K.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
That's like you were kind of talking about, maybe an upgrade to that game. It's kind of an incentive to like stick with that, because if you put that much time into it and they're only going to release another version, well, with this one, you at least get a kickback.
Right.
That was kind of cool. And I must say, after watching people play FIFA, it was more enjoyable watching actual soccer. I got
I'll give you that.
Soccer a lot more after playing FIFA a little bit, and I wasn't good at it. I kind of got tired, and it's really not. I wouldn't really go back to it and purchase FIFA, but I don't know. It kind of made me enjoy. Like, man, that's really hard to play on a video game,
Right?
Much less in real life. And like watching them actually pull this stuff off is like, okay, it's like, made it a little bit more interesting.
I guess too. I do enjoy playing the goofy sports games. Like, give me a Mario Kart, give me a Mario Soccer, give me Mario Golf, tennis. Those are the games that are like, not taken seriously because it's over the top, but it's fun. Savannah, I'm pretty sure you're a big fan of those kind of games. So like kind of the goofy sports kind of games.
Yeah, like on the Wii or something.
Yeah. So like, I'm more of a fan of those kind of games. Just because I think it's because it's your favorite character is just all together playing a game or something like that, doing something fun and everything like that. Yeah. But what is this show all about? Well, the point of this podcast is to ask you 2 questions, and at the end of the episode, we try to answer them. So, you heard the 2 questions, but before we get into anything, we need to do our news and update. So, one of the updates that are going on right now is, of course, you probably didn't know that Sonic is becoming a movie that's coming out in 2019, along with Mario, supposed to be coming out in 2019 too.
Mario.
Yeah. The same people that did Minions are in charge of doing the Mario movie coming out.
Live action?
I don't know what I think it's going to be animation. I don't know if it's going to involve real people, though, mixed with Mario, or it's going to be its own world. We don't know. There's no footage or anything showing about it. I think the weirdest part, people are going to have to realize that these characters are going to have to talk, or they're going to have to find a clever way to have them be them without talking too much. I don't know. I'm fine with them talking. I think, growing up with Mario for over like 20 plus years, I think like give him some words. We heard him talk before.
Yeah. I think everybody has pretty much the gist of Mario. He's trying to save the princess. He's got a brother, and there's a bad guy, Bowser. And beyond that, what's the real story? Who are these other characters in relation to all those other people? That's why I really like that one YouTube series of videos. It was like this martial arts configuration of Mario's story where they actually like put in actual story.
Oh, okay.
Peach was the security, like head of security for Princess.
Oh, okay.
And like a badass.
Okay.
And so it kind of just put all this into an actual story, and it actually was really cool, and I liked it.
Was Mario Plummer in that though?
Yes.
Okay.
And they like fought with these huge ass wrenches.
What's the name of the YouTube? You remember who it was?
It was like a year or so ago.
I think it
when
was
we
Super
watched it.
Mario Wars.
Super Mario Wars.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds right.
Okay. I'll look that
Might be
up.
something to check out. But that's something that, because when you said that, first thing in my mind is that old classic Super Mario Brothers
Movie.
Yeah,
it's one of my top guilty pleasures. That movie's so bad.
Like,
It's
jump
good.
them in the air.
Yeah.
That movie was so, like, I can't even say it was good, but
It was so bad. It's so good.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, like I remember like watching that movie when I was little, and I thought it was the most fantastic thing ever. And I think it was because it was just Mario on the screen, and I'm like, oh, it's Mario, my favorite thing on the screen. Great, it doesn't matter, anything else matters. You know. Then going back to it, was like, this is a very terrible movie, but you have to give them credit of that crazy idea that they had, because it had 3 screenwriters write that movie.
Wow.
And the fact that they try to parallel 2 different worlds together was an interesting way to do it. And I think they were just doing it because Mario was hot and they just needed to hurry up and put something on the screen, I guess. But to their credit, man, like it's a guilty pleasure. I could watch that movie again because it's just so crazy how this happened, and it's just fascinating. You could do like a book report of like this
You
movie.
could totally do a Mystery Science Theater.
Exactly. Exactly. But about Sonic. So Sonic's finally getting his first movie that we ever seen, and a poster came out, and there's a lot of mixed feelings, and I wanted my 2 guests to kind of take a look at it themselves, and you guys can see this on, just type in Sonic movie, and it's from the producers of Fast and Furious, and this is the logo of Sonic. I mean, this is the picture of Sonic, and I really just want to sit here and talk about the picture of Sonic, because like Sonic is looking kind of like there are 2 things that the studio said they wanted to do. First of all, they wanted to make him furry, and I'm a little against that because like Sonic's not furry. You know what I mean? Like,
I've had a hedgehog as a pet before.
yeah. So you exactly know what I mean,
Only
right?
certain parts that are gonna be furry.
Belly.
Right. But like, and the one thing about this picture, I posted on my Twitter page, was like, it feels like it's a man turning into a hedgehog and not a hedgehog. You know what I
The
mean?
first thing I know is he's got knees. You never really notice
Yeah.
anything but Sonic's feet. Like
And
his
some
shoes.
sort of muscle tone too.
He's usually
Yeah.
got shoes.
Yeah.
Like it's very anatomically human.
Right. It really feels like a guy is turning into a Sonic
Sonic
the Hedgehog. His name is happened to be Sonic, and he's like, oh no, I turned into a hedgehog kind of feel. I mean, I got the blue part, I guess.
Maybe
But, like-
that's what they're going to take with it. Make it real life and do like, oh, he got bit by a radioactive hedgehog.
Probably. but my question is too, is like, wouldn't you be a little satisfied if the gloves were in it? Like those white little gloves? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those white little gloves kind of maybe be okay a little bit. Maybe I forgive this a little bit, but like, you don't even have the white gloves. Like, what if Sonic? I don't know what Sonic's hands would look like. I mean, I couldn't picture it. I just couldn't picture it. It's just weird because he has, I think it's 4 fingers. Yeah, 4 or 5 fingers. And you know, most cartoon characters, 4 fingers is the perfect choice to draw a character.
Yeah.
So like 5-finger hedgehog, like, I don't know about this. Because Jim Carrey is coming in and doing the voices of Dr. Eggman or Robotnik to people.
Okay.
But they haven't
Maybe it'll be
announced.
funny.
Yeah, but I don't know who's going to be talking to the for the hedgehog. They're not getting the original guy from Family Matters, the guy that plays Urkel from the cartoons. He's not coming in to do the voice for that. But I think it's interesting that that we're getting this, and I think they're trying to merge again a video game character with the human world and not just let it be what it is. Like, it's a video game, let's keep it in the video games. And I think a lot of people like to add to the real life to it because it's a way to get like people to come in and come some way to relate to the show, to the movie of, oh, he's going to a real world, I'm part of the real world, let's go do this, instead of just like, no, just let it be what it be, right? Just let Sonic be Sonic. Why do you try so hard to try to merge both worlds together? It doesn't need to. He might as well just jump out of a video game and just live the life. You know what I mean?
Sometimes just nostalgia is just enough. Obviously this is something that a lot of people grow up with. I mean, I didn't personally. I mean, I grew up knowing about it.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be relatable, it's gotta have to be relatable to like when you were a kid, like playing, watching any shows related to it, anything like that. So I feel like if they're trying to go that route, like it's just like trying too hard.
Right. Right. And personally, to me, I don't think this movie needs to exist, and I think people will be fine with it. And I felt the same with the Mario movie. But, I think that Mario could pull it off better than Sonic could. You know what I mean? Josh, what's your input about Sonic?
Well, I feel like how you're talking about how you should just, you can stay and appreciate the games.
Mm-hmm.
But when was the last Sonic game released?
There was a game that came out last year, and I forgot what it's called, but it didn't get the best results. And also came out too that year was Sonic Mania, and it was basically it was a collection of all the favorite levels of Sonic, but they've been remixed.
Oh
yeah, and that was actually really good. So like you got to play the first level of Sonic, but like the first stage was normal, but the second stage they totally like remixed it, so it's totally different stuff. And then you had all the characters come back for it. It was really good, but it's only the 3D Sonics that don't do very well. The 2D Sonics do very well, and so that was the difference. But we haven't had a new Sonic game, I think, in about 2 years, and now we have this movie, which is I think is being produced by Paramount. I believe it is. So
I think that might be what's it, because I mean our generation appreciates the games,
right?
But the newer generation may not have like those kind of appreciation for the games because they're not really getting like a new like current of age and like the tech and the time Sonic game. So they're trying to put this movie out to put Sonic out to people who aren't playing games,
right?
Or aren't, they haven't been playing games like that to where they have that connection to Sonic. My connection to Sonic more than anything was seeing the show on TV. I'd never played a game,
right? But
so,
I think also too, I think just like Mario, Sonic is probably at that point as an iconic character that you might not ever touch him, but you know of the character. You know what I mean? Like everybody, I don't care who you are, but Mario's up there with Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny. Like, you know who those people are. You don't even have to watch a cartoon, but you know of those characters. You know what
those sounds are even.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Sonic's now getting up there as one of those kind of like, you know who Sonic is.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's why they're doing this, because of the fact, yes, they are trying to get the new generation to know who Sonic is and get that old generation. But I think it's because now this character is becoming one of those icons. People will probably give it a try, but it's all about that trailer. Like, hopefully this poster that they show is misleading until we see the actual footage, what they're going to do. But sometimes that poster can ruin it for you. Like,
and a lot of times,
is he going to be running like that?
A lot of times, who knows? This is probably early, and they're probably putting this out just to see what people think about it. Like, okay, writing this down. If they're smart, they're writing down how they can adapt it to actually get the reaction that they're wanting to get from it. But I also kind of agree with you in how I feel like, you remember that Ratchet and Clank game movie?
I seen the movie.
Combo thing?
Yeah.
I was confused about it for a while because I wasn't sure which one it was, but I think it was both. Because you could just watch it through cinematics.
Right.
Or you could also play it.
Right. Well,
but I feel like maybe they should bring out a new revamped kind of Sonic for the new age.
They should. But the problem is right now, this Sonic's reputation has been pretty mixed bag because the fact that like Sonic has been having more bad than good. So it's almost to the point when a new Sonic game, people are very iffy.
Yeah.
And that sucks. It sucks when you make when you have a character that has a bad record and people are now iffy about, is your game really going to be good? I mean, you guys keep putting them out, but like you guys been more misses than hits. You know what I mean? I think that's like anything, like even from an artist, like, an artist like, man, you've been having some bad albums. I don't know if I really want to invest in this new album you got, And so, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully there'll be a trailer next year to kind of see what's going to happen. They haven't had a release date when it's coming. I'm going to guess it'll probably come towards like either the beginning of the summer or the end of the summer. This feels like this will be a summer movie, because I think if anything, Sonic needs to be coming out before Mario, because Mario's going to be bigger, and I think it's going to be even good or bad. Mario's going to be it's going to be big.
Mario.
Yeah. So this Sonic movie needs to have a moment, at least a couple of months to itself. Yeah. So the earlier they can get it before Mario, the better. And so if you can get it in the beginning of the summer and after the Avengers movie, no one be near Avengers movie. Get away from that. And, get a month for yourself and then do your thing.
If I was to say one thing, I would say don't try to put too many characters in there, because I know that I'm sure Sonic has a lot of characters in
He
it.
does.
And if they're going with like maybe a Jim Carrey route with the Eggman or whatever his name is, I feel that could be cool, especially if he's a living character and not CGI. And it looks like they're going to have a CGI Sonic. But if they try to put 3 or 4 other CGI characters in there besides Sonic, that's going to be too much.
Right.
I feel you can make it work. You put 1, maybe 2. What is a little helper? 3 tops. Like, but 1 or 2. Beyond that, it's just, I feel like it'd be just too many.
Right.
Like, we just watched that Venom movie, and it had, the Venom character and another symbiote main bad character that he was fighting. And it wasn't too much.
Right.
It wasn't just like 5 of these.
Who was it, Savannah?
Oh, his name was Riot.
Okay, Riot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's hope for the best for this Sonic. I'm happy that I guess it exists, but at the same time, I'm not going to be surprised if it doesn't do well. But
I'm still looking forward to it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I thought this Sonic movie would come way before that, but I think because in the 90s, video game movies hadn't done not really well, people did not take a chance on that. And I think the same thing with comics. Like, comic movies did not do well in the 90s either. And so now it's finally taking time for these movies to finally surface. Because even still now, the record of video game movies haven't been very well. I mean, I guess like Prince of Persia did well, but like we had a Doom movie that didn't do very well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All these kind of movies. And so,
you could probably say the Resident Evil ones are probably the best ones.
Sadly, I like the first one, but after that, it's just kind of gone downhill.
They've had enough support to have 7 movies,
and then there's a Monster Hunter movie coming out soon too.
Really?
Yeah, and so, but let's go on to our updates. If you know our in-game boss program, we are a network of other games and other gaming podcasts and other stuff. So what's going on with Area 44 is John Ruiz is taking a break, and he will be back in January. Christmas is a very busy year for him, so he's taking a break, but he'll be back with brand new episodes for you in January. Bond Never Dies with James Bond. We are going to be taking a break next week, and we'll have the next Bond episode come after Christmas because, I don't think a lot of people are going to listen to stuff. They want to be with families and all this kind of stuff. So we're going to be pausing for this one. Actually, like next week will be probably only like our Christmas episode that we're doing right now. Will be the only one there. And then our Game Halls of Rivalries, where we put 2 characters together and see how they rival each other, will also still be this week. We'll be visiting the Undead, the End of the World, with Leah Clementine from the Walking Dead video game, and Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us. And we talk about how they rival each other in the gaming industry. And it's not about who is better. It's just about how their rivalries influence the gaming industry. You know what I mean? Like, they're the only 2 games that really push that kind of like, what do we do when when zombies take over kind of thing. And, one is, and both of them are very dramatic, and one of them have to take tough choices. And, spoiler alert, one of those characters, or both, end up passing away. So, but that's it all on our update. But we do have one special segment I want to do, but we're going to do that after our break. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about that and our theme of our episode, Christmas. We'll be right back. Hey listeners, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I'm your host, Jeremy Evans, aka your in-game boss. And I want to let you know that this is not the only show you can listen to. We got great shows like the In-Game Boss Podcast, the Game of Halls of Rivalries, Bond Never Dies, and Area 44, and more to come. So if you enjoyed this show, make sure you follow and subscribe to the network so you're always updated with the newest episodes and update on any other news that happens in the In-Game Boss program. So, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the show. Hi, if you love video games and you love video game icons or characters, then please walk down the gaming halls of rivalries with us as we go through 2 iconic characters that rival each other in the gaming industry. Gaming characters like Mario and Sonic,
or Lara Croft and Nathan Drake,
or like Dante and Bayonetta,
and Master Chief and Samus.
If you enjoy these characters, then please visit the Gaming Halls of Rivalries as part of the In-Game Boss program and enjoy fun information and fun stories and the future of these characters. Thank you. And welcome back. I'm your host, Jeremy Evans, along with my two mini boss, Mr. Josh and Savannah. Guys, how you guys doing still?
Doing great.
Good.
Savannah, you're doing a great job for your first time being on the show, so keep it
Thanks.
up. I know she was kind of like, they are totally in a different world for me right now. I'm going to chill. I'm enjoying this wine. I'm good. No, before we even get to our main segment where we're going to be talking about Christmas and whatnot, there is a one segment I want to talk about called I Can Connect With You. And most of my other segments I do is Baby Come Back, where I talk about old school game that needs to come back in a different form. The last two games that I talked about was a personal game from the Dreamcast era called Skies Arcadia, one of my favorite RPG games of all time. And another game that I talked about was Super Mario RPG, The Legend of the Seven Stars. That was a game on Super Nintendo. We need another Mario RPG with Square Enix involved. We haven't had that collaboration in a while. And so I would like to see those characters come back in some way. But this one is more of when we play a video game, sometimes we connect with a video game. Not so much like I love this video game because of the gameplay stuff. It's more of like I like it because I connected somehow. Either it's from emotions, if it's something from your memory, if it's something that it gives you nostalgia, something there that just gets you connected. Now, I don't know about you guys. Maybe I don't know if you guys had any games that come to mind like I connect with this game. I mean, it connects. I would say maybe for you, Josh, and I could be wrong, is maybe Neo. You connected with so well because you are a big fan of the by my thoughts of Japanese mythology and that culture. Would you agree or disagree with that? Or
No, I do agree with that.
Okay.
And also the fact of I really connect with games where you can build yourself and make yourself into whatever badass person that you want to be.
Okay.
I really connect to that part of it as well.
Okay. All right. And Savannah, is there any games in your library in mind that like this? It connects me in some sort of way.
I like anything open world. Just
Open world?
because,
Okay.
yeah, like I would like to travel a lot more.
Okay.
I like the idea of just going out and exploring. And that's what you get to do a lot in anything open world. Like I like, obviously we talked about Fallout and Skyrim, but
I hope you don't
lately-
want to go somewhere like if I fall out.
Oh well, no. But hey, I'm prepared, right?
Right.
And I've been really digging The Witcher 3 lately. It's very open world, and I like the opportunity just like coming up on something. Like in Fallout, you kind of come up on bits of like history, bits of the past. Or the present, you're just like, what happened here? But in The Witcher, it's different. I mean, there's all sorts of like mythical creatures that you get to fight or meet.
Are you a fan of that era, that kind of slight medieval, middle age era in mind?
Yeah,
You're a big
I'd
fan
say
of that
so.
kind of stuff? Okay.
Yeah, I find it interesting. And then there's an open world game coming out soon, and it's something that I know we would both like. Do you remember what the name of it is?
Can you describe it?
It's Japanese. It's like
Ghost of is
Tsushima.
that the one?
That's yeah.
The ones from Sucker Punch are the ones that did Infamous and they did Sly Cooper. Those are your developers.
But that looks really good.
Mhm.
And then there's another one. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it looked interesting as well. Like it was kind of I don't know, like 1700 style.
Okay.
As far as like the way the people looked, but it also looked like post that. Like there's
Okay.
other stuff going on. I can't remember what it was, but it stuff like that.
Right.
So I think it's just interesting in general. Anything open world, I'm open to.
And loot.
There
and
you
looting,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
I loot really bad. It's like I'm a hoarder, but at the same time, I use that to like get all my monies.
We're treasure keepers too.
There you go.
We love getting like cool little things and knickknacks and creating things and having little keepsakes. And we're like that in real life too.
Well, the game I actually played, I read this article on Polygon. It's a great article. It's about it's a retro game because like one of my other nicknames is Retro Activist, and I'm a big retro gamer. I love playing old retro games because it's just that beautiful pixel art that they work on so hard. Even like nowadays, we have the way to polish and make them look really good, like Shovel Knight or just a bunch of great old school games. Like, we can bring back the old like Final Fantasy VI Chrono Trigger kind of stuff and just like make them beautiful pixelized and everything like that. So I got introduced by this article of a game called She Dreams Elsewhere. And what made this game so interesting, it's a modern RPG game where you don't get a lot of those. Most RPGs that we play, we're either in the future, we're either in the past, but we never get one that feels like it's in the present, right? Can you guys think of any games that feel like this is the present other than maybe, I guess you could say Persona per se? And so, nothing. If you do, it's rare. It's like you have to really think really hard of a modernized, like just a bunch of regular kids going to do stuff like kind of like Earthbound. I guess Earthbound's kind of a modern per se. It gets a little too sci-fi-ish.
What about that one that you were playing with the Life is Strange? Is that considered an RPG?
More of
It's more storyline.
yeah, it's more choice based than RPG wise. And it's funny too because role playing games has such a distinct boundaries of what is considered a role playing game. You know what I mean? Like any game, you're playing a role of somebody, right? But they have to break it down to more of it has to be more of a build up. You have to you're progressing your characters, right? And so there's always a different define between that.
Well, the only one I could think of was maybe Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it's not really an RPG. It's more of an action. And so
You build her up though, don't you? Seems like you did in that last one you played.
Well, I mean, there's like leveling up and getting more gear, and then as far as RPG, like
you're not so much getting experience in Tomb Raider as you're going on. You have to get certain elements to progress a tree that you have. In an RPG of a JRPG, their traditional is every enemy you face, you get a little bit of experience as you go, and you level up that way. And when you level up, that's the way you get your abilities. But compared to Tomb Raider or God of War or stuff like, well, God of War is a little different because but the old God of War you have to build up blood, and you can only experience the only moves you get is what you put in the blood. You don't get to choose which one you want, build blood to it. It's more like, yeah, you build this blood, you get this one. Do it again, you get this one next, right? But here in the RPGs, it's more of you don't know what you're gonna get until you level up. And like Tomb Raider and all that stuff, at least you got a skill tree. Like, I can go this path if I want to. I want to be this person. I can be this one. So in this traditional JRPG, it's more of, I'm just leveling up until I get what I needed. But to this game, it's set in the modern world where it starts with this girl in a nightmare, right? And when she's in this nightmare, she doesn't know where she's at or anything like that. And as she goes through the game, goes through this nightmarish kind of world, she has issues of what is real and not real. You know what I mean? And I think we all had that before. You guys have nightmares and you guys don't know what is real and not real, and sometimes you don't know if you wake up or you're still dreaming or whatnot. And when she does wake up from her dream and everything like that, she ends up stuck. She's ended up in a modern, in her apartment, waking up from a kind of a nightmarish kind of thing. And I'm trying to load up for my mini bosses to see it, but it's not working with me right now. Okay. Anyways, and so she lives in this apartment complex, and she deals with anxiety. She has low self-esteem. She doesn't know what she wants to do with her life. And sometimes they say that in your dreams that they kind of give you signals of maybe something you're going through, stress, it's supposed to symbolize stuff. It's a message to maybe you need to change the decision, what's going on in your life. That's the thing about dreams. It could be anything, but sometimes I believe sometimes dreams kind of give you a hint about something that's either coming soon or something you need to try to fix. I don't know about y'all, how your dreams work.
Well, I don't really remember most of my dreams.
So, okay.
But my understanding is dreams take place in the fourth plane, or the astral plane, outside of time.
Okay.
So you very well could be viewing a future event or, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's also talk of how you can do spiritual or energetic work in that as an energy while your body is sleeping. And that's why some people wake up tired and groggy, because they have actually been doing energy work in the astral plane while they've been asleep.
Right. So So these characters, it starts out with this girl. You find out she lives in an apartment complex, and she gets visited by one of her other homegirls named Amita, and she invites her to go to this party that she has in her apartment. And you can tell right then that everybody at this party that you meet up is around in their 20s, 21s. This is probably during the time when you're young and you're not deciding what you're doing and drinking and stuff. You're just partying it up. So, I'm pretty sure you guys gone to parties before and you meet so many different kind of characters.
Yeah.
Just different variety of characters. And at the time, at these parties, you kind of come to yourself and ask yourself, do I fit in this environment that I'm sent to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes at these parties, you even get people that do not look like they belong there. End up going because their friend invited them. I'm pretty sure growing up you had that one friend that felt like he was the coolest person to you because you were the person that's very shy, and you always need that friend that will always the one that will push you to go further. Now I could be 100% wrong with y'all. I know some friends, and I think I'm two other friends that I'm one of, like, if you want to do something, let's do it. I'll push you, let's go. I don't know if you guys had friends like that before.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It also depends on the person, because
That's
you
true,
also
too.
have to allow
Right.
that to happen. And if I'm kind of one who I am introverted, but I do allow
Right.
and Savannah does that for me sometimes too. Even though we can both be kind of shy and introverted, but sometimes we can bring ourselves out. And actually, our puppy Izumi does that for us. A lot.
What about you, Savannah? Do you have anybody that helps you push, or are you the pusher?
Usually I have somebody else
Okay.
helping me along the way.
Okay.
But, like Josh said, there's some occasions where, like, he's a lot more quiet and I'm a little bit more open. It just depends on who we're with, just how we're feeling. But we usually kind of just, like, bring each other up and, enjoy it. It just, sometimes it just takes a little bit to get us getting used to, like, a scene.
Okay.
We're just those kind of people that likes to feel it out before we just, like, whip
Okay.
it out.
And so, but basically when they go to this party, it's basically what you would see like at a teenage party or a young 20s party. It's just like everybody's having drinks, having fun. Everybody's kind of vulgar because this game is very high content with language. And and I kind of like that in this. I like when some people do that kind of ideas. If the game has a lot of cursing stuff, only if it fits what that environment makes sense in it. Like, okay, they're going to a house party. Okay, it makes sense. People are just going to just talk. There's going to be a lot of curse words. Everybody, who cares? And because even in this game, at this party, there is a song that plays and is a hip hop song, and they drop the N word like it's nothing, like in the background. And to me, like, okay, I get that. Like, I understand that. The only problem with the situation is that's the only song that kept repeating. If it had different other songs repeating, it wouldn't be a problem. Like maybe a 4-track going, but here in this game, that was the only one, and it kind of got a little annoying. But it was beside. I understand the environment, so I didn't last that long. Anyways, so during the party, she ends up talking. She ended up having a split mind. Like, she's having a conversation with people, but in the back of her head, she's having all these things like, why am I here? Why do I belong here? I don't get this. All this kind of stuff. And let me see if I can get right to that party scene for y'all. Anyways, so she starts getting these voices in her head trying to convince her, like, you don't belong here, make excuses. And when you talk to these certain characters, you get different choices how you want to say stuff to certain people. Like, you can, like, someone will come talk to you, you can end the conversation, or you can continue the conversation depending who they are. Like, you'll meet this guy right here to the right. He's like kind of a hip hop kid, but he's very wisdom. And you can ask him, hey, do you want to hear what he has to say, or you got wisdom for him, or do you want to just change right here, like, see, like, choices right there, or act like you haven't seen any of his text, like, like different. They give you different scenarios how you actually have a conversation with somebody, like when you go to a party, you see that person you awkwardly don't want to talk to, but they approach you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh crap, it's Tom. He's gonna say hi to me, and you're trying to figure out, like, okay, should I actually have a conversation, or should I just see if I can find someone I can go to get away from him? And that's how I felt like when I was playing this game, was like, these are the choices that I could say. I can honestly think of those too, right? And so when she starts having these headaches in her mind, because in the dream she had, she died in her dream. Like, this person in her dream was saying, like, you're not going to live. And they killed her and she woke up. But now at this party, it's all coming back, and your character had to go to the bathroom, look in the mirror, figure herself out, and your character had to leave. So when I started leaving, I saw my dog that was in my apartment escape. So I chased my dog, and it starts becoming an Alice in Wonderland, or you could say Wizard of Oz. You know what happened when you chase your dog or chase something bad happens, and you end up going back to the world that you just started in, this nightmarish, and you're realizing like, okay, and where am I now between reality and not reality? Because I didn't go to my room. I just was chasing my dog, and I end up going into this other world, the world I was just in. And then what it gets even weirder is as you go further down, all your friends that were with you at that party are also in there too. And you think it's a dream, but they're saying, hey, I went looking for you because you didn't go back to your apartment, and I end up here. Like, what is going on? And so you and your friends are going through this maze of this game, chasing your dog, and you're facing these weird creatures. And the battle system is back in the old school where you see the enemies, but you don't physically go up and you see yourself strike them. They just show you strike, like a slash come hit the enemies or something like that. The old school way. If you ever play Dragon Quest, kind of old school like that. And then they have the Persona style where like Persona really works on like if you use magic on someone's weakness, it gives you a chance to use that magic again as a double thing, and that's the way they do it in this game. But to wrap it all up, towards the end, you end up having to fight you end up fighting your dog. Your dog got turned into a monster, and you had to fight it. And you had to choose like how your emotion felt for that. Like, your friends come to you and say, are you okay? And, my choice at the bottom was like, in the line, I was like, no, I don't feel good. I had to kill my own dog, and I made that choice. I got to say that. I'm like, of course I'm good. I think that makes sense that you would say something like, dude, I killed my dog. Do you think I'm okay? Yeah. You know what I mean? And your friends are there to comfort you, tell you like, well, maybe that's not your dog. We don't know where we're at. That could be a fake dog or something. And then you keep walking up further, and then you meet the same person again that killed you in the first part. And he's saying like, you're not coming back from this. And then you end up running into this mirror that was in the room that you were caught in. And you're walking down this deep hallway, and you hear this door. You see this door slowly open, like cracking. And it's like, welcome to this world. And then the demo ended. And so this game was very interesting to me because the fact that we have a character that doesn't know where she's at, but is it based on her emotions that are leading her to this? Is it something that her emotions is so deep that she has like such low self-esteem, she don't know what she's doing in her life, that she's evolving everybody else into that world? We don't know, or she just walked into a nightmare's dream. And I guess I connect with it is because I think that sometimes we have those points in our life where we kind of overthink about what we should do with our lives, and sometimes we go to parties to kind of leave those thoughts out the door and everything like that. And sometimes those parties can also bring back memories of certain people that you haven't seen in a long time, and you get your friends that always come up to you and say, are you okay? You can come talk to me all you want, but sometimes you just don't want them in your world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is my personal thing, and I honestly don't think you can help me. But sometimes not bringing it out, you can bring people in, you don't even know it. So I guess that's what I was connecting to it, because I know characters, I know people that are like that are afraid to open up. And when they don't open up, sometimes it can do worse than good, or sometimes it can do good and do worse. We don't know. And I've seen that at parties before. I've seen people like that before. Now this is not an episode like go out and help your friends. No, I'm not. This is not it. It's just a game that was just, it pulled me in because it made me interested of like, I want to know what happens next. Like, Is this all a dream, or is this a real thing? Are these friends actually there, or they're not there? Like, you know what I mean? And so I guess my question to y'all is, for me presenting this to you, if would this game interest you, or is this something like, nah, this ain't my cup of tea? And be totally honest. If this is not your cup of tea, it's not a cup of your tea. I didn't completely understand. This game is too emotional for me. I don't like these kind of games. What's your thoughts, Savannah?
I like these kinds of games. I can't think of the other one that I've played, but I've seen like PewDiePie and Cryotic play like a couple of these types, and like this storyline sounds very interesting to me. Like, I totally play it.
Okay.
I totally watch her.
Okay. Okay.
Well, that does sum it up for me though. Like, I'm also interested, but I wouldn't play it myself, but I would watch her play it.
Okay.
And I do like the way it looks, like the colors and the art on it. Like,
I like it as well.
And like how it is like it's like monochrome with like a little bit of color thrown in here and there. I like those aspects of it.
Yeah, and I guess too, like I think the artwork was really good, and I'm a big fan of the retro style kind of games like this. But also at the same time, like I said, I have never played a modern RPG like this where it has to deal with, emotions and all these kind of things that those games don't really talk about. You know what I mean? Like Life is Strange. You play Life is Strange, Savannah, and you don't see that. You don't really play a lot of games like that because there's not a lot of games like that. You know what I mean? Where you have a person that's probably can deal with the same problems you, either is bullying or just being shy, or just because one person could screw you up, sadly enough. You know what I mean? And so, but that is She Dreams Elsewhere, and it comes out in 2019. It doesn't have a date yet, but the demo is out. You can get it on Steam. I recommend everybody gets giving it a try. I can easily understand it could be an easy turnoff because one, is very retro. But at the same time, if you stick with it, it's actually really good. The dialogue is okay. I think dialogue needs to be a little bit reworked there, but you can understand where they were trying to go with it. And I think they got time to sit there and work on it. They haven't announced what console. We don't know if it's coming out the console or not. I would like this game to play on my Switch. These are the kind of games that feels like it's a good game to just sit in your bed and play about an hour. Yeah. And so, but I recommend everybody just kind of like give it a try. Just, it's free. It's a demo, and it's an hour. It took me an hour to beat it. So this is an hour demo. There's a lot of dialogue in it, and that's another thing too. If you're not a lot of dialogue person, maybe this is not your thing. But that's the old thing. But if the dialogue's good, then I recommend just sticking with it and everything like that. And so, but enough of the sad stuff. Let's get into what we're here to talk about. Is Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody listening to this show, and Merry Christmas to Josh and Savannah. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I'll see y'all on Christmas or not, or the day before we all are not working or something like that. But, I'm excited for Christmas. Christmas has been an odd thing for me and my family because the fact that we celebrate Christmas, but we didn't really celebrate Christmas. It was more like, okay, everybody come to dinner. Let's eat. Everybody go their own way. Now I'm talking about like the last couple of years. Now this year I kind of pushed it up a little bit. I'm like, hey, let's do presents again. Let's do this. Like my goal was to buy ugly sweaters for my whole family, but I just didn't make it in time. I'm going to plan it for next year. I want to be that cheesy family to take a photo with ugly sweaters just to be funny about it. But growing up as little, we had the traditional Christmas. There's only 4 members in the family, so we get up, go to the tree, enjoy stuff. And go back to our rooms and enjoy what we had, and our parents, they make dinner and all that stuff. Yeah. What was y'all's Christmas like?
You want to start?
Yeah, kind of about the same. Like,
Did you have a big family?
Well, yeah. Like, as far as my immediate family goes, I'm one out of 3 kids.
Okay.
Third one came a lot later. Like, he's only 9 years old now. I'm 24, so you can imagine the difference. But, yeah, so, Christmas Eve, we always had this tradition of opening one gift that night, open the rest in the morning when we wake up. Of course, it was different if we went down south and visited my dad's family, because they open all of their presents at midnight, as soon as it's midnight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they also have this whole little, like, Jesus thing. They're Catholic, by the way.
Oh, okay.
They have this little, like, Jesus thing ceremony that they do. There's, like, one, like, older member of the family that, like, They do this, like, rosary thing and stuff. They dress him in new clothes, and he's ready for the new year. And they do that every year. So it's just, it's one way the family gets together. Of course, it's always food involved, both sides of my family.
Did you guys do turkey again, or do you guys are ham this time? Like, I'm ham on Christmas.
Christmas tends to be tamales on my dad's side of the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a mix. But on my mom's side, it usually just depends on what we do. Thanksgiving, of course, like, turkey's one of the big things. Don't know about that this year, though. So we'll see.
Okay.
But we've, last year when we woke up on Christmas morning, my mom made, like, a whole sheet of bacon and like eggs and stuff like that. So it's just like we don't have like ever like a set like menu that we do every year. It depends.
Okay. So Josh, before I ask you what your Christmas is like, I want to ask you, what is Christmas look like to you visiting her family for Christmas?
What does it look like?
Yeah, what's it look like from you? Like, how do you look at it in your point of view? Like, how does it look for you? Like, is it like interesting, or is it something like, I never seen people do it like this before? Like, anything that kind of stands out to you when you go visit her for her Christmas?
Yeah, it is definitely a little bit different. You know, I find certain similarities because I was raised religious as well.
Okay.
But, you know, mainly, you know, everyone's family's different.
Right,
So you know
right.
that they're going to have their little things that they do differently. But it never stuck out to me like it was like too different, you know. Except for like the things that were obviously like she was saying, like the Catholic traditions that they have versus like mine, where I came from was more like independent fundamentalist Christian kind of practices that they did, you know, like nativity stuff.
Right.
But other than that, it's not like too off the wall, you know. There's just, you know, another family that likes to get together, but their family likes to involve alcohol and stuff. So
Oh, okay. All right.
At least
fun.
on my dad's side. On my mom's side, I tried bringing alcohol to Thanksgiving, and they're like, "What do you think we are, alcoholics?"
They were totally fronting on that because you could like all of them
I was
who
just trying
said
to
something.
be nice, okay? I
don't know
was,
why
like,
they
ready-
made her feel that way because I knew they wanted to drink.
Yeah.
They were just trying to play.
Plus, I think there's also 2 members of my family that are pregnant, so they couldn't drink anything. But it's like, well, that's not my problem.
Right.
You know, I was like,
They
I'm
already
gonna make
had
a boozy
alcohol
punch.
there.
Yeah, they did, but it was like wine, and that's all they really wanted.
You're gonna have to spike some punches next time. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you guys don't like to drink, huh?
Rub
Y'all
punch.
I spike all y'all's drinks. Now you all together.
And I
Toast.
left it unboozy just for them, and they didn't even say thank you. And I brought stuff to make mules too, because I wanted to get creative that year or this year, and they're just they're a little judgy about it. I'm
okay.
like, well, okay, more for me then.
Right.
And I've been making mules at home, so.
Josh, what's your Christmas like, man?
It's a lot different now than when I was a kid.
Okay.
It's gone through like an evolution because whenever, like my earliest memories are whenever I was living in a motorhome
Okay.
because my dad was an evangelist going to different churches.
So what year was that, would you say?
I would have to say maybe like 94, 95,
Okay, so
96.
Okay, so we're looking like late 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what we would do, you know, a Christmas garland, you know, like a tree, but it's just a string. We would hang that around the motorhome, and we would put the ornaments on the garland, and that would be our tree. It would just be all around the place.
Okay.
And you know, my family is I have 2 older sisters, 2 older brothers, and a younger brother. So.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me like you have a big family. I met your brother that one night at Speakeasy when we went to that robot art show.
Yeah.
That was just such a coincidence. Like, huh?
But from there, like when we finally settled down, probably around, I think it was like 96 or 97 here in Oklahoma City. For the first couple of years, we didn't have a tree, so we continued that onto the fireplace,
Okay.
like the mantle. So it was kind of like a garland mantle Christmas thing.
Okay.
We just hang it off of there, you know.
You guys do not like trees.
Well, we eventually got a tree. Like it's the first couple years before we got one. We finally got one. We got a tree, you know. But yeah, Christmas was always because of the number of people. I mean, I feel like, you know, certain smaller families, they might just have, you know, everyone gets something for everybody or however they may do it. But ours was very, I mean, every part of our life was regimented, you know.
Okay.
From the time you eat your snack, you know. My mom,
You guys were on a
my
schedule.
mom had to put us boys on a schedule. You know what I mean? So when it came down to presents, because of the number of people, and even more so nowadays with all the many nieces and nephews that I have, we do lists and names that we draw.
So just for my listeners, are you guys like the headquarters of all the families that come to for Christmas? Like all your family right around whoever's near y'all, they come to y'all's house or your home?
Well, my immediate family hasn't really kept much contact with our outer cousins and aunts and uncles and such. But when it comes to my sisters and brothers and their families, yes.
Okay.
We switch off. Like one year we'll do Thanksgiving with the in-laws and Christmas with the outlaws, and we'll switch it the next year.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this year is Christmas.
Okay.
So the family will be usually we'll spend like because my mom and dad are divorced, so we usually spend Christmas.
That's
with my
the same
dad.
thing with you, Savannah, right? Your parents are divorced.
No, they've been together ever since.
Oh, sorry,
I
because you
became
said
a thing.
you said your dad's side in Louisiana. I thought.
Or no, Brownsville, Texas.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry, different down south.
Okay. Okay, sorry.
No, they're still together. They're married.
Okay.
I was there for it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm very lucky. I consider myself very lucky to have two parents that love each other and
Mine
have been
too.
together. I have a lot of friends. We have friends, and then obviously him.
I think you're the only other person that I work with because I did a survey and I at that morning I was the only one that actually had parents still together, and I went to everybody and like you so far you and me are like okay.
Yeah.
I mean that's not a good record, but okay.
I think it's just so common now.
I know
It's sad,
it is sad.
but
But
we have good Christmases. Like we always end up hitting up all of our families, like my family, both sides of his family, and then he's even come down to Brownsville, Texas for one Christmas when we were able to go. We're not doing that this year though, since we already went to Brownsville for
Thanksgiving?
No,
Oh.
summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We had a wedding in Dallas and then just vacate in South Padre, but my family was there, of course. Celebrated my dad's 50th birthday a month early, but it was so special. He was not expecting it.
But Josh, just to finish up your Christmas, so as the present now Christmas, like what is that style now? Is it what you're talking about right now is the default, or is there?
Yeah, it's basically us coming together.
Okay.
Around the parents usually.
Okay.
And like I said, like usually it's like Christmas Eve for my dad and like Christmas with my mom, unless it's one of the years where it's like we're having Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So but we still stick with the list and the drawing names,
Okay.
especially because I mean there's like I said there's so many nieces.
So you guys don't do like Secret Santa or Dirty Santa or anything like that? It's just more like pull off a hat. This is your job.
Necessarily, we used to keep it secret, like not knowing who drew who and where it came from until like you actually got it.
Mm-hmm.
But then it got to a point where everyone was wanting lists, and it just got easy to be like, all right, these people have these people. We all know who we have. We're not losing track anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's not because someone might forget and have to ask, but you're not supposed to tell anybody. It's just all a little complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can actually, like, give intuitive gifts because we're actually, like, talking to people.
Now, I don't know if your family's this, but I've been hearing recently from a lot of people that do Secret Santa and Dirty, well, Secret Santa more than anything, that families tend to get too competitive when it comes to that stuff. Is your family very competitive when it comes to playing Secret Santa? Like,
no.
or getting gifts or whatever? Okay.
If anything, they're under competitive because they don't want to make anybody feel like,
Okay.
that like they'll still do like a price limit because they don't,
Right.
they don't want anybody to feel lesser.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
We don't really like do it to be. I feel like to me when you say Secret Santa or like Dirty Santa or something like that, I think of like practical jokes. Like
right.
Gifts that are meant to be funny or dumb or to laugh
something
at.
among friends.
And we just
right.
I guess I just say quote unquote normal gift giving. Just
okay.
like socks and
okay.
gift cards and stuff.
Well, I guess
gas cards.
I guess the
yes.
bad part about that, but I think it'd be funny too, is just like if someone gives like a gift of 300, like that's from Uncle Ben. Good old Uncle Ben always got the biggest gifts.
So,
it's like, I want Uncle Ben this year.
To be honest, there was a period of time where there was that feeling between my mom and my dad.
Okay.
After they split, after the divorce, my dad, the first Christmas we had over there, like we went to his apartment. He didn't really have a bed yet. My dad stepped up for my family, even though him and my mom were no longer amicable. He's still, supporting her, and he always supported us all the way through high school and everything. So his first Christmas, you know, he didn't even have a bed. He didn't have furniture. And he had that, he went back to that garland on the mantle. He didn't have a Christmas tree, and he bagged everything. He didn't have anything wrapped, but, you know.
It's the thought that counts.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's never been about that, but there was a point in time, because after my dad got out of ministry and was more like, got to get a job.
Right.
He got, you know, he does computer programming, and he's done very well at that. And since then, so because of that, it kind of got to a point where he was able to do a little bit more with his kids. And I feel like that created a little bit of friction between, oh, what did you get from your dad, or blah, 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 you know. And because
Dad loves me more than you.
and, you know, it's, you could see, I could see it on my mom's face, you know, and stuff like that. But, you know, it's something that we worked through, and that I don't feel like that lasted very long.
But even
I feel like we're in a pretty good space.
still, like, they're still uncomfortable around each other. I remember one of the last times it was over at your sister's house, where his dad and stepmom were there, and his mom was there, and like no talking, no, like not near each other, like like not looking at each other, it's very uncomfortable, like, you know, to watch that a little, you know, because it's like, well, you guys can still be friends, right? I mean, like you brought 6 people into this world and 18 grandchildren, almost 18.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I told you. That's why.
Yeah, he has a big family.
So,
so
as kids, I think me and my parents and I had this secret, I don't know, this secret communication or this vibe that, like, we think we know something about each other, but we don't, but we know kind of thing. And the reason I say that is because, like, I'm one of those people that snuck to see if my parents got the gift that I want. My parents were terrible hiders. Under the bed, for listeners, if you're a parent to your kids, don't put it on your bed. That's just not a good idea. But my parents trust me that they thought, like, you know, that I wouldn't look under. But that's where it comes from, right? I think my parents knew that I knew I was getting in. I knew that I went in there to check in there. I haven't talked to them to this day. I think I'll do this year. I'll talk to them. Like, did you guys knew that I knew some of those presents and everything like that? But I guess the reason I asked is, like, did you guys ever snuck to see what you got, just to make sure they got what you need on your? Did you do that?
See, my family, they used fear tactics. They told you, if you found out, we're taking it back.
Oh, okay.
My brother did exactly that. He waited up and he saw them wrap one of his gifts, and he was smart enough to call it before he opened it.
Oh, he shouldn't have done that.
I know. It's like,
you're supposed to pretend you're excited.
Yeah, you're not supposed to call it.
Right.
You called it. Oh, I bet it's this.
Oh, see, that's a terrible idea.
Opened it up. That's what it was. Oh, how did you know? They took it straight back.
Oh.
They took it straight back, and the rest of us were like, "Well, we're not doing that." So we never tried to figure out what they were getting us. There was no, "Oh, we have to hide it from you." It was just like, oh, we ain't looking.
Right.
No,
he was an example of we're not gonna take our chances.
See, my mom was smart, and as soon as she got home, like she would say, like, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, as soon as she was coming in, or turn around and go to her room, and like, okay, don't come in, knock if you need to come in, you know, and wrap all those presents up and then put them under the tree. Like, she's like, you guys are not getting a sneak peek of these. So I mean, honestly, I'm the same way. As soon as I get home, I want to wrap that gift. You know, I don't want that chance of, you know.
Right. Well,
whoever
see, I did it right and your brother did it wrong. I act like I was surprised. I act like I was surprised. I didn't say, I hope it's this. That's just, I'm so sorry for your brother. Yeah. I'm sorry. But yeah, you know, when, like, it's always the thing when you were little anyways, like, you don't go in your parents' room anyways. When that door's closed, it's like, you know, it's to not disturb at all levels unless you knock. So that's funny that, you know, that's already in that mind frame. Like, I ain't going to mom's room. Yeah. Like, the only time you do go if your parents are gone, right?
In the wrapping mood too, because like the door was closed, you know, like you can hear it going on, you know. Of course, she made that announcement, like I said, when she come home. So yeah,
it's something like, if I was a parent, what I want to do is, like, I want them to see the gifts. Then when I put it in the tree, it's not those gifts. Yeah. And then, like, give them a fear tactic, and it's like, no, I have it. but I knew you knew.
It's like you let them see all the wrong ones.
Mom
Right.
did a pretty good
They-
job sneaking some stuff too, because she would like have we would have like big gifts, and sometimes they'd be right out like with the tree, and sometimes they'd pull them out of God knows where. Like
They were good hiders, huh?
oh yeah, or they'd just be in the garage. I'm like, that wasn't there yesterday. Like, when did you have time to buy this bicycle and put it in the garage? Like, because
Right.
it's from Santa. And then, I mean, of course, as we got older, Santa's mom. But, you know,
Yeah.
it's just, it was funny because, you know, some of my biggest gifts, like, came out of nowhere, like, keyboard, bicycle, you know, things I wasn't expecting. And, you know, it's just, like, my mom is a pretty good Santa, and hopefully I can live up to that whenever we have kids.
Was y'all's parents really good at the whole like when you put cookies out or anything like that? Like, you know.
When we were little, but as we
My
got older.
parents never fostered the myth.
Oh, okay.
So Jesus and God in Bethlehem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So did Jesus eat the
It was
cookie?
never, there was never anything. It was my mom's no-bake cookies that she made for us during Christmas.
Okay.
But it was never anything for any kind of show. No elf on the shelf or anything like that.
Oh
It
yeah, of
was-
course that was after we were children, babe. So
Well, I'm saying
I
there's
don't
nothing
think
really like
it's
that.
been around for
Now,
like, what, a few
now my
years
mom
now.
does this, and I learned that the hard way when I was little. My mom's a particular person that she likes to have. When she has a decoration, she goes all out with the decoration. So, for instance, like when she does her tree, she goes all out. But like she likes to put presents down there just for presentation sometimes. So there'll be boxes of nothing in it, but they look like presents. But she does it just for a setup of decoration, like Christmas tree with presents. Like your presents are not down there. We just have them. I have boxes down there because I just wanted to have a presentation of, you know, a tree with presents around it. So I learned that the hard way when I opened one box. They never told me. They're like, "Oh, we forgot to take the decoration boxes out." So I was like, "Is this a game?" This is best. I was like, "Oh, so sorry. I'm so sorry." But like, so it goes to the second question. Like, what gifts did you guys get? I mean, what gifts did you guys want but never got? Like, is there anything that ever came to mind to you?
I think that for me, like Legos was a very popular gift for me, but I was never really able to ask for the sets that I really, really wanted.
Okay.
Because the best Lego sets are really expensive, and like my favorite Lego set to this day, like I wasn't able to afford it until I became an adult and had a job and purchased it for myself. So I feel like Legos were my favorite Christmas gift because I could open it up and I could put it together and I could be occupied right then and there with it.
Right.
And not just like, oh, I have socks and clothes and, you know, like I don't mind getting those things at all because I always need them. But I always like to have at least one thing that I can actually do something with and occupy myself
And for my
with in the
listeners, what
moment.
is exactly the Lego model that you wanted,
Let's just call it that.
or the one you just now got?
The one I just now got was
That
that,
you- yeah.
Slave one, the
Oh.
Boba Fett spaceship.
Okay.
Yeah, I've wanted that since I was a kid. That and like the Millennium Falcon, you
Or
know,
the
those
Death
ones.
Star.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, they've reissued those, but they had them back when I was a kid still too. But
Still hella expensive.
yes.
See, it's funny you mention that because I
So
always
worth it.
remember the theme Legos, not so much of those big model ones, like, you know, hey, hospital Legos, hey, working at construction site Legos, you know the ones about car wash Legos, you know.
Well, now they call it City. Lego City.
Yeah. But like, yeah, they would have so many different themes of so many Legos before they got to more like themes off of movies and gaming. It was just straightforward. Like, here's the theme. Like, hey, you want to pretend that you run a hospital? Here's Nurse Betty Lego coming. All this stuff.
Do you remember like the mats, the layout mats with the rows?
Yep.
And the plots.
Yep.
And-
Yep, because they always had the placemat where you're supposed to put the Lego setup
Yeah.
at. Like, wherever building, it goes right here,
Yeah.
but I want to put it here. It belongs on this side of the street. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I always
yeah.
wanted to do it like in Stuart Little when he had that garage that he could pull that car out
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. What about you, Savannah? What was something that you always wanted but you never got?
That's a hard question. Like, cause growing up, like there wasn't like, I don't think I was ever like really disappointed with what I got.
You weren't on the pony bus? You weren't on
No.
that pony bus?
No, because like even like okay, so like I remember being in like kindergarten and getting a Nintendo 64 for Christmas, and I was like so excited, but I remember I was, mind you, I'm like 4 or 5 years old.
Mhm.
Have no clue what this is.
Right.
You know, like other than it's for playing video games. I already had that interest. Playing on the computer. Like I go to other people's houses, they've had some sort of game system, and it was something I never had before. So, it's the only thing I can maybe think of is like maybe something that like something like big, but maybe something my parents couldn't afford, like an electric scooter or something.
Okay.
Like those would have been fun, but I just can't think of anything in particular that I had on my list. I was like, I wanted it like every year or something, and
So
I never
you
got
basically
it.
were pretty satisfied with the things that you got, and you got them, huh?
Yeah,
That's
because like
good.
I mean, because my parents would get me some stuff that I wanted, and of course there's like the clothes and things that they would just surprise me with.
Okay.
Like, even like my mom surprised me last year with this like stand up mirror. Like was not on my list at all, but it was still like really nice, and I was just like, you know what, I like that. Like
Okay.
I'm a very open person to gifts.
Okay.
If it's something like really cheap or expensive, it doesn't really matter. Like usually just the thought really counts. Handmade, bought, I don't care.
My mom always gets me Reese's.
The what?
Reese's.
Oh, okay. I always wanted a dog because I always saw that in traditional stuff, like in cartoons and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
like kids always get dogs for Christmas. Like, and we always had cats. And in our house back in Stillwater, we had a dog house, but never a dog.
Aw.
And I always was like, well, I would like a dog. Now, I don't know if my parents know to this day I always wanted a dog, but like I think that they're not very dog people anymore because dogs are just too much to maintain for them at the age they are right now. That's why they prefer cats, because cats can take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I think a dog is something I'll have to get on my own. But I think that's a good thing I didn't get a dog when I was little, because I think the way I was very active. I always go outside and play and stuff. I probably wouldn't even have time to enjoy a dog until
Yeah.
now. I think now would be good. I want a boxer. But
They're great. Yeah.
but I think it's because that dog house. If that dog house did not exist in our backyard for so many years, I probably wouldn't even ask for a dog. I was fine with cats, right?
Yeah.
Right? And
See,
okay.
I just grew up with dogs, so like I never really asked for that. I mean, of course, like the idea of a puppy was always nice, but like I've been around dogs since I was little, so like if anything, like I always thought like having like a ferret or a bunny would be cool or something like that, because we had 2 dogs and a cat growing up. And and dogs are a lot of maintenance too. Like you're right. Just having Izzy, a puppy. I mean, they're a lot higher maintenance than just any old dog. So, but I mean, we've done good with her, and it's definitely a exciting project for sure. Just cleaning and taking care of her. Like we just recently figured out like how badly she needs to be brushed like consistently, or else she gets matted pretty badly, just the way her hair is.
Because you also have to think about like, when you get a pet as a family, it's not your daughter's dog. It's basically your parents' dog. Like, yeah, it's your dog, but we're the ones taking care of it.
Yeah, and see, like it's so different with Izzy, because I mean I grew up with these dogs in my childhood, but I mean of course I wasn't the one feeding them or even buying the food, obviously, and or letting them out. That was mostly my parents. Like the dogs would wake my parents up for these things.
Right.
I would wake up to something just weird. Like I remember Jessie one time she like threw up in their room, and then we had a bunch of like water beetles, and they were just like all over it. Like that's the kind of weird stuff I would wake up to. Everything else, it was mom's job.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But now it's just like I wake up with Izzy for everything. But I mean it's not a bad thing. I love being a dog mom. It's something that like I've learned a lot more from it than I thought I would.
Okay.
So like I don't want to like I don't want anybody to feel like dogs are just too much, because sometimes for some people they are, but I mean it's a lot of work that you put into it, and it's something you could really become proud of, because I mean Izzy does high fives.
Oh, you finally did it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you were talking about that for a long time. Like I'm gonna train this dog. She gonna do it.
Yeah.
So we're almost coming towards the end of our show, sadly enough. But I do want to ask, is there anything special going on this year for y'all for Christmas? Anything new? Anything special going on?
My sister's pregnant, so we have a +1 on her.
Okay.
Yeah, in her. So that's exciting.
So you're gonna be an aunt.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a girl. They just found out.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it's not really new for him. He's already been an uncle for how many years now. So this is my first one, and I'm excited for it.
Awesome.
They're excited too.
Speaking about the puppies, the puppy's first Christmas, so
Yeah.
Okay.
we might do something for her.
Her pup box is coming in soon too. I just got a notification that
Okay.
it was shipped, so she's gonna have some Christmas goodies.
Have you
coming
guys
in.
already finished some of your pre-shopping or anything like that?
Next paycheck?
Next
So
paycheck,
this
okay.
Friday.
Okay.
Like I haven't done a single ounce.
Technically, I already gave him one of his gifts already. So.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
was
Are you
good.
guys gonna have any kind of Christmas at your place? Not like family. Like, are you guys gonna have like a little mini tree up? Or are you guys gonna put anything up that's like Christmas in your place? Just something
Yeah.
small.
We
Yeah, we
actually
got a
just
tree up.
finished
Oh, okay.
putting the rest of our tree up. We put some ornaments on, more ornaments on there. It looks so
It's a
cute.
little mini tree set up on a
A fire pit.
Oh, okay.
one of those like little fire pits, and just set up on there and put the skirt around it, so you can't even tell.
It looks
kind
so
it
good.
kind of reminded me like last year. It was I had the pleasure to host my first Christmas for myself at my place because like I always like I want to do a Christmas at my home. I never got to do that, and I didn't want my parents to really do all the work, even though my mom came and helped me decorate everything. And so, but it was really nice. Other than like they had to adjust where to sit, so I didn't have a table, so we had to sit around like either the bar or they sit on the couch and everything. But it was cool because like the fact that like you're hosting this thing for your family that's been doing it for so long, and then we had like easy presents and stuff like that, and that's what we're doing this year. We're just doing simple presents like $10 to $15 minimum. And so one of the gifts, and I know my dad doesn't listen to the show, but my dad is old school like he is now adapting the DVDs while we're like in the head of the future. But so I'm getting him a DVD rack because he has so many DVD movies now. Yeah, because my dad used to collect like VHS tapes like no other. So I'm buying him that. I'm still trying to think for my mom, but I bought my mom a bunch of cat aprons. Yeah, I have one with this from an anime, a cat from an anime that I didn't know it was from, but it was just so cute. And then I got my mom this other apron that says "All Paws" here or something like that. And then my brother, he's simple. I got him like a candle or one of those assortment popcorns. Those like barrels. I think those are the easiest like last minute. Oh crap! I forgot your gift. This will be enough. Like the popcorn barrel. I think that just answers all the problems. Because, like, you can't be mad because, like, it has 3 choices. Tell me you won't say... If you say no to caramel popcorn, I'm sorry, man. Then you got some life you got to deal with.
This look.
Right.
I eat caramel popcorn. It's just, not a lot.
But you have cheddar and regular. Would you eat those?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I stuff my face with those.
Yeah. I was just saying, like, you have 3 choices. You don't like any of those? I'm sorry. You got to figure out something in your life. Like, I'm sorry.
Those things.
Ooh, or those little shortbread cookies in the tins too. Those are really good as well. And
Yeah.
it's nice receiving one of those and it being like, oh, please don't be sewing supplies. Cookies.
Yep. But
everybody's grandma uses those. I still use
They
them
do.
to like the popcorn tins. We have some old ones that I have like our Christmas ornaments in. And one of those cookie tins to have like those things that you put the ornaments up in, the little metal thingies. Yeah, like I reuse them. They're useful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, like, Josh, do you have anything secret going on for Christmas for your family? You got any secret presents for them or anything like that?
No.
No.
Though this Secret Santa at work is gonna be interesting.
Whoa, what? We'll talk about that after. I don't know anything about that.
Because
That's a secret to me.
It's like elongated over like it's basically like 3 small gifts, and it's like 2 hint gifts, and then one that's like, ta-da! This is who I am.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
and you're supposed to like leave them in places where that person will find them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Like,
we
so
can
you're
like
kinda,
request
like-
the help of like coworkers and stuff. Like, hey, like I'm leaving this here for so and so. Just make sure they get it.
I'm just
You know,
going to put it
stuff
in the
like that.
sassy sauce and says good luck.
Right.
You find it is yours.
That could get pretty creative. But
Right.
yeah, like Danny and I were talking about it, and she was like, yeah, we pretty much just have to stock our secret or our person just to give them a gift, and like it's just it's gonna be a little weird, but I think it's gonna be pretty fun.
But, well, sadly, I would love to keep talking, but you got to wrap up this show. This is a special episode, so I let it go for about an hour and a half. So yeah. But
Do some editing.
no. We're gonna keep it the way it is. Most of the time, most of my shows are like 45 minutes or an hour. But special episodes, like this is Christmas. Come on, it's Christmas. Let's do it. I don't want to be a Scrooge here. But Savannah and Josh, I want to thank y'all so much for taking the time to come and listen to it. I know we were supposed to plan this back in November, but November was quite a busy month for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Holidays are very
Yeah. But thank you guys for taking the time to come for one day to do a fun recording with me and everything like
thank
that.
you.
It was fun. It's been
And
fun.
so,
I'm
but
really glad we both had tonight off.
right. It's like it all lined up perfectly. I was like,
Yeah.
man, it ain't gonna be till next week they're gonna tell me this, because I did come at the last minute on them. And so, but I want to thank all the listeners for coming to listen to the episode. I want to wish y'all a Merry Christmas, and let us know, like, what did you get for Christmas? What did you want for Christmas that you didn't get? Did you get that dog? Did you get that pony? Did you whatever you got? Hopefully you didn't die. They put holes in it, but but yeah, just let me know if you have any other questions. Definitely email me at the Endgame office at gmail.com, and leave any comments on Facebook, on Twitter, where you can find all our shows and everything like that. And we will be back on our next episode, and we wish you a Merry Christmas.